Hi, I'm Mooney, and tonight, we're talking about one of the most terrifying unsolved mysteries in modern history. A case so disturbing that even investigators couldn't fully explain what happened. 9 experienced hikers entered the frozen mountains of Soviet Russia, and only their bodies came back. But the condition they were found in made absolutely no sense. This is the mystery of Dyatlov Pass incident. It was January of 1959. A group of young hikers prepared for a difficult expedition through the northern Ural Mountains. They were experienced, smart. Most were students or skilled outdoor adventurers. The group was led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student known for his survival skills. The mission seemed simple: travel across the mountains, complete the route, then return home. But they never did. There were originally 10 members, but one man, Yuri Yudin, became sick early in the journey and turned back. That decision saved his life, because everyone else would die. One of the creepiest parts of the Dyatlov case is that investigators recovered the hikers' cameras, and the photographs they took show their final days alive. They're smiling, laughing, building campfires, playing in the snow. They had no idea. They were walking toward something horrifying. The hikers eventually approached a mountain known by the local Mansi people as Kholat Shakal. The name roughly translates to Mountain of the Dead, which honestly doesn't make this story feel any less cursed. On February 1st, 1959, the group set up camp on the snowy slope of the mountain. The temperature dropped far below freezing, strong winds hit the tent, and sometime during the night, something happened. When rescuers finally discovered the campsite weeks later, they immediately knew something was wrong. The hikers were gone, but the tent had been cut open from the inside. Think about that. 9 experienced hikers cut their way out of their own tent, barefoot, in the middle of a deadly snowstorm. Investigators discovered footprints leading away from the tent, but the footprints were strange. Some people wore no shoes, others wore only socks. One person appeared to be barefoot, and the footprints didn't show signs of panic. They walked, not ran, into the freezing darkness. The first 2 bodies were discovered beneath a cedar tree. They were identified as Yuri Krivonishenko and Yuri Doroshenko. They were barefoot, wearing almost nothing, and beside them, investigators found the remains of a small fire. The tree above them had broken branches, as if someone had climbed it in desperation, trying to see something or trying to escape something. And nearby, other bodies began appearing in the snow. This is where the mystery becomes terrifying, because some of the hikers had injuries that made absolutely no sense. One victim suffered massive chest trauma. Another had a fractured skull. But strangely, there were almost no external wounds. One investigator compared the force to a car crash. And then came the detail that haunted the world. Some victims were missing eyes. One was missing their tongue. No one could explain it. Animals? Natural decomposition. Something else? Theories exploded across the Soviet Union. Over the decades, people created countless theories about what happened. And honestly, some are more disturbing than others. One theory claimed the hikers accidentally witnessed secret Soviet military testing. Some reports mentioned strange glowing lights in the sky around the same time. And because this happened during the Cold War, people suspected a cover-up. Others believed something else was out there, something not human. The local Mansi people were blamed at first, but investigators found no evidence they attacked anyone. So the mystery deepened. Years later, scientists suggested a delayed avalanche may have caused panic inside the tent. The hikers may have believed snow was collapsing onto them, forcing them to escape immediately. But critics argue that still doesn't explain all the injuries, or why some victims were found so far away. And honestly, that's why the Dyatlov Pass story terrifies people, because no theory fully explains everything. These weren't inexperienced travelers. They knew survival. They knew the cold. And yet, something made them leave safety behind and walk into darkness. Maybe the scariest mysteries are the ones that almost make sense. Because the Dyatlov Pass incident sits in this terrifying space between logic and nightmare. 9 people entered the mountains together. And whatever happened that night, only the dead truly know. So if you ever find yourself alone, deep in the snow, and the silence suddenly feels wrong, listen to your instincts. Because some places don't want people there.